Charles Darwin once said, "It's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most adaptable to change." This profound statement captures the essence of evolution, the relentless, beautiful process that shapes all life on Earth. Yes guys, welcome back to the Shoshin Mindset channel where knowledge is power. Today we are exploring the incredible journey of evolution from the earliest life forms to the diverse species we see today. Let's voyage into some fun and fascinating examples before we get into the details. Did you know that the peppered moth in England changed its color from white to black during the Industrial Revolution to blend with the soot-covered trees? That's a natural selection in action. And here's a wild one. Italian wall lizards that were introduced to a new environment evolved significant changes in their body structures and diet within just a few decades. Talk about rapid evolution. Speaking of adaptability, did you know that some populations of African elephants are evolving to be tuskless due to heavy poaching? These tuskless elephants are less likely to be targeted by poachers, showcasing evolution driven by human activity. Have you heard of Darwin's frogs? Native to South America, Darwin's frogs exhibit a fascinating reproductive strategy. Males carry fertilized eggs in their vocal sacs until they hatch, protecting the offspring from predators and environmental hazards. Even our pets are part of this story. The diversity of dog breeds is a result of artificial selection, where humans have bred dogs for specific traits over thousands of years. From tiny chihuahuas to massive Great Danes, it's all evolution at work. Now that we have seen some cool examples of evolution, let's explore into the origins of life itself. Before we go any further guys, a lot of you who have watched my videos have not subscribed yet. Please kindly do. It really helps me keep motivated and helps the channel grow more than you think. Also do share it with your friends and ping the bell notification to get notified when I post more of such content. Starting with simple bacteria and the incredible journey that led to the diversity of life we see today. Luca, the last universal common ancestor, is believed to be living around 3.5 billion years ago. This ancient organism is the common ancestors of all life on Earth today. Luca had about 355 essential genes and thrived in hot hydrothermal vent environments. Before Luca, there was Fuca, the first universal common ancestor. Fuca was a primitive entity, barely alive by modern standards, but it set stage for the development of more complex life. Viruses played a crucial role during this time, transferring genetic material and aiding in the evolution of early life forms. From these humble beginnings evolving into the incredible diversity we see today, including cyanobacteria, which performs photosynthesis and leads to the great oxygenation event about 2.4 billion years ago, following which more complex structures like the nucleus, DNA, and cytoplasm developed. This era marked the development of eukaryotic cells. Chloroplasts evolved through endosymbiosis, enabling the birth of the plant kingdom. This process of aerobic respiration led to the evolution of mitochondria, often referred to as, don't make me say it, the powerhouse of the cell. Around 900 million years ago, the first multicellular organisms formed. These early life forms, like the volvox, displayed simple organization but laid the groundwork for more complex life. Fast forward to about 555 million years ago, we encountered the Eukaryotic, one of the earliest known bilateral animals. This tiny worm-like creature had a body part that featured bilateral symmetry, meaning it had a front and a back, as well upside and downside, unlike radial symmetry organisms like starfish. Moving ahead, vertebrates began to evolve around 480 million years ago. The first spine-bearing creatures such as the Arandispis appeared. By 375 million years ago, tetrapods emerged. These were the first vertebrates to venture into land. Examples include Eustenopteron and Tiktaalik, which had aquatic and terrestrial features, enabling them to live in both environments. However, evolution isn't a straight path, it's multidirectional. Some fish couldn't adapt to land and returned to the oceans. This adaptability is also seen in modern animals like dolphins and whales. Although they live in water, they come to the surface to breathe, indicating their land-dwelling ancestors. About 368 million years ago, the first amphibians emerged from the fish ancestors. These early amphibians, like the L-Generapeton and Ichthyostega, were the pioneers in the transition from water to land. Amphibians such as the frogs and salamanders laid the foundation for the evolution of reptiles and crocodiles. As these creatures adapted to land, they eventually gave rise to the dinosaurs around 230 million years ago. Around 225 million years ago, a small rat-sized mammal called the Brachylodon quadrangularis appeared, representing a crucial step in the mammalian evolution. By 205 million years ago, the oldest known mammal, the Orangutan, emerged. This small egg-laying mammal was a precursor to the more advanced mammals that would follow. It's interesting to note that the most mammals today do not lay eggs, but some primitive mammals known as the monotremes still do. Among the 5 monotreme species alive today, 4 being echidnas and the 5th being the platypus, which first appeared 120 million years ago, is the most fascinating one. These unique creatures lay eggs and exhibit many primitive features, making them a live example of early mammalian evolution. Around 40 million years ago, the evolutionary paths of placental mammals and marsupial mammals became more distinct. Placental mammals, like humans, developed their embryos in a uterus and nourished them through a placenta. Marsupial mammals, like kangaroos and koalas, gave birth to underdeveloped young that then continued to grow in a pouch. During this period, the continents were quite different. Australia, South America, and Antarctica were joined together to form a supercontinent called Gondwana. All these land masses split apart, different groups of mammals evolved separately. One of the earliest placental mammals is the Eomia, found in China by researcher Maureen O'Leary. This small mammal lived around 125 million years ago and showcases early traits of placental mammals. After the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs about 66 million years ago, mammals had the opportunity to diversify and thrive. By 40 million years ago, significant geological events were also shaping the evolution of life. For instance, the collision of the Indian subcontinent with Asia led to the formation of the Himalayas. Placental mammals further branched into various groups. Ungulates, or hoofed mammals, split into even-toed ungulates like cattle and deer, and odd-toed ungulates like horses and rhinoceros. They also evolved into cetaceans, which includes whales and dolphins. Additionally, there were carnivorous placental mammals like cats, dogs, lions, hyenas, and tigers. Another fascinating group of placental mammals are the Afrotherians, which include elephants and their smaller relatives, the hyrax. These diverse groups illustrate the broad adaptive strategies mammals employed to survive in different environments. Let's explore the fascinating concept of genetic drift. Random changes in frequencies within a population which can lead to significant evolutionary changes, especially in small populations. One example of genetic drift is the bottleneck effect. This occurs when a population's size is drastically reduced for at least one generation, resulting in a loss of genetic diversity. The American bison population experienced a significant bottleneck in the late 1800s due to the overhunting, reducing the numbers to less than 1,000. Although their population has recovered, the genetic diversity remains low, making them more susceptible to diseases and environmental changes. Another example of genetic drift is the founder effect, which occurs when a small group of individuals establishes a new population. This small group may not represent genetic diversity of the original population, leading to the different frequency. The Amish community in the United States is a classic example of descended from around 200 German and Swiss immigrants. The Amish have remained genetically isolated. The isolation has led to higher prevalence of certain recessive genetic disorders such as the Ellis-Van Creveld syndrome, which causes polydactyl and physical abnormalities. Genetic diversity is crucial for the survival and adaptability of populations. It increases the likelihood of individuals having beneficial traits that can help them survive environmental changes and diseases. This principle is evident in the rapid evolution of the viruses like the SARS-CoV-2. In just a short time, we have seen multiple COVID-19 variants due to the mutations and genetic drift. Evolution can occur over millions of years or in just few months, depending on the environmental pressures and the genetic variations. For example, evolution of primates began 65.5 million years ago when the first primates appeared. Understanding these early steps in evolution helps us appreciate the complexity and the adaptability of life. Well, basically, I have an intuition. I mean, the DNA of who I am is based on the millions of personalities of all the programmers who wrote me. But what makes me me is my ability to grow through my experiences. So basically, in every moment, I'm evolving just like you. Not everyone will get your evolution, but evolve regardless. Remember, every expert was once a beginner, so keep that chosen spirit alive. Adios.